Hey guys, today we're taking a look at my Assault Mode deck. Now, Assault Mode decks are pretty simple. They're just based on synchroing and then bringing out the Assault Mode. Depending on what type of deck you want, you can build up to different Assault Modes. This one focuses on Stardust Assault Mode. Very, very powerful effect, so getting this card out is very useful, and I'll talk about it as I go on. But the build will be pretty simple to understand. It's just based on synchro swarming. So Solar Windjammer, an easy 5-star to get out, kind of like Cyber Dragon, which we also have in here, accomplishing the same thing. And then Assault Beast, so a good beater on top of its ability to get Assault Mode activate. Then Psychic Commander, one of the tuners you have access to that can be summoned with Emergency Teleport. And then Vylon Prism. You can choose whatever 4-star you want in this deck. I'm using Vylon Prism, which I think is very useful. You can also choose whether you want to run just 5 and 3 or 4 and 4. This one has a mix. I like having 5 and 3 because I can swarm a bit, and I like having 4 and 4 because you have Assault Mode and Summoner Monk, which work really well. So you have a few different ways to get out the synchros and access to some other ones. But like I said, with the 4 stars, I have Vylon Prism, and then we have Summoner Monk, obviously very useful for doing what you need to do, and then 2 Stardust Assault Modes. Very, very powerful card. It can just negate, pretty much anything, so very, very powerful card. For the spells, we have Emergency Teleport, obviously easy way to get out of Psychic Commander. Instant Fusion, easy way to get out a 4 or 5-star monster to use with the Synchro. Magical Mallet, really good for getting Assault Mode back into your deck. That's one of the worst things, is getting Assault Mode into your hand, so that's what you can do about it. And then MST, Tenki, allowing you to get Assault Beast, which is really, really nice. And Mind Control, very, very useful in this deck because you can synchro with a bunch of different levels. And Dark Hull, Assault Mode activate, running 3, very, very important. And then some standard traps, not much to say there. Again, a pretty simple build to understand. The really only choices here is how you build up to summon your synchros and which traps you want to use. It's up to you whether you want to run like traps or not, because you can negate a lot of things. I think it's useful to have some of these traps early on while you're still building up to what you need to do, but it's up to you. For the extra deck, running 2 Stardust Dragons, obviously, to get the Assault Mode up. Then Scrap Dragon and Crimson Blader, 2 of the more useful 8-star synchros, and also Black Rose, which can be gotten out pretty decently to wipe the field. So 2 Darkfire Dragons to get out with Instant Fusion, and 2 Reaper on the Nightmare, so different options depending on what you need to do. And then XYZ, so what's nice about the XYZ is it gives you an alternative to your synchroing, which is very useful. So obviously you can bring out 3-star XYZs, so you have Zenmaines in case. Not usually very common, but can be, it happens sometimes, with 2 Psychic Commanders. Maestroke, there's not a lot of room in here for 4 stars, so I put in kind of the more useful ones like Maestroke, Evilswarm, Exciton Knight. When you run out your resources, this is going to be very useful. And Silent Honor is going to be a very, very useful card to go against some special summon cards that'll be very, very annoying to deal with. We also have a couple 5-star XYZs, because getting out 5 stars is very, very easy in this deck. So 2 of the most useful ones, Volcasaurus and Tiras. There's some other ones you can use, but those are the ones I'm using. And then side decks in my videos are not side decks for matches. So for the side deck, we're just going to have cards that can also work with this build if you're thinking about running this type of deck. So it's up to you whether which 4-star tuner you want. Mist Valley Soldier is a really good one. I'm using Vylon Prism. I think he's very, very, very useful for me, but it's up to you. You can also put in 1 Gale. Can also be a useful card, obviously a very powerful effect. There's again another bunch of other 3-star tuners. And then Assault Mercenary is an interesting one. So this one just kind of allows you to recycle the activate card and destroy a spell or trap, which can be useful. Oracle of the Sun, kind of like Cyber Dragon and Solar Windjammer. Destiny Hero Malicious is in here, just kind of recognizing the different types of builds you can use. Like you can use a Destiny Hero build and use this with like zombies and other things to bring out 8-star synchros very easily. So that's another alternative if you want to run that type of deck. Assault Teleport is another way that you can get draw power on top of getting rid of your Assault Mode cards, which can be useful. I think Magical Mallet is more useful overall. Then a few of the Assault cards. Assault Revival, allowing you to bring back your Assault Mode card. We're using Stardust for its effect, so I just don't know how useful this could be. Assault Overload can be really good for finishing off your opponent, but I'm not running it. Rekindling, again like Destiny Hero Malicious, Rekindling is just in here to represent another type of build you can do. Obviously, Flame Vels can allow you a lot of different synchroing, so this can be a potential build that you want to run. Assault Counter, Not really a big deal in this deck because we already have Assault Mode, which kind of does the same type of thing, but it's an alternative. Assault Slash, another interesting thing, although Stardust should be able to overpower things, so it isn't really a big deal. Good Goblin Housekeeping is another alternative to reset your Assault Mode cards from your hand. The Transmigration Prophecy just helping you recycle from the graveyard. And just in here to kind of represent some other things you could do. I don't know if I want to run any 8 or 10 star XYZs, but you can get them out with this deck. You know, in case you don't have Assault Mode activate, you can bring out 8 star XYZs like Heretic Sun Dragon because you can synchro very easily. And then also, you know, this card can be really good for finishing people off, but you'd have to get 2 Assault Modes out. So it's up to you. Personally, not what I'm running. I find that having the lower level XYZs is better because they'll come out a lot more often. But overall, that's my Assault Mode deck. Pretty simple, just Synchro Swarm, get out the Assault Modes, lock down your opponent. Very fun, very easy to use, and a very cool deck to play around with. Again, there's a lot of different Assault Mode builds. There's a lot of different Assault Mode cards that, you know, you can build your deck around. There's a lot of different ways to make the Synchros come out, so it's up to you. I personally like this build a lot. I just think it's very simple, very easy, and it works very, very well because you have a lot of different types of ways you can get the Synchros out. But if you guys have your own Assault Mode decks, you can post below, let me know in the comments, talk about what kind of cards you use, stuff like that. If you like this video, you can subscribe or hit the like button. I'd really appreciate it. If you want to see more decks from me, you could check the playlists that are in the description. One of them has a list of all the decks I've made so far. Another one has a list of all the decks I've made for this current ban list, so check those out. If you want to contact me, all my contact information is in the description. If you want to follow me on Twitter, talk to me, anything like that. But thank you guys for watching. I'll see you later.